Hello everyone. So, a new face for the British Pokemon League. I am AaronTMarshall, the coach of Inglorious Surfers, and this week, of course, Matt is too busy to in real life stuff to do the show this week. So you're stuck with me, I'm afraid. I am not as pretty as Matt, but I will do my best. You know, I might not be the best. No, that's not Matt. I've got not as pink hair as Matt, but you know, hair nevertheless. So, guys, week 4, we've started. So, really exciting stuff last week. Some really interesting results. This week on week 4, we've got some really good. We've got some really good stuff coming on. Now, what I'm going to do is just jump straight into the stuff that happened last week. We're going to look at the results and what they meant in the table on the so if we jump straight in with the East. So as you can see, so from last week 3 at the end of it, in the East League, Inglorious Surfers are top of the division at the moment with a 3-0, doing really well at the moment. His team is proving quite difficult to beat. Second place, we've got the South Croydon Saws, one of the new guys. He's stalling ahead. He's doing really well, and yeah, he's got a really good team. Toed Star Belgrade, one of the old boys. He's in third place. Again, you know, the league is looking quite, level at the moment. Anything can happen, really. ShadowKings, we've got 2-1 as well in fourth place. We've got Sceptiles in fifth place with a 2-1 as well. 1-2, should I say. And last place is 1-2 with the Newcastle Thunderous, Big Dog Dave. So yeah, as you can see from the East table, it's looking open for anyone, really. Anything can happen. But yeah, let's jump into the West. Let's see what the results meant for the table. In the West table, we have got Latvians Miami Heat with a 3-0 as well. So, really taking the games I wouldn't expect anything less from the Season 1 champion. He's running away with it. Second place, we've got one of the new guys, Slithering Sceptiles, with a 2-1. One of the new guys, so yeah, he's doing really well as well. And yeah, best of luck to him. 200 Candies in third place with a 2-1. This table is looking very similar to the East Division as well. We've got Bulu Boys in fourth place. Matt, hoping, maybe to get more wins. He didn't start off great, but he's picked up a win from last week. And yeah, hopefully he can keep the ball rolling. Fifth place, we've got Silly with his Long Island Goomies with a 1-2 as well. And then last but not least, we've got the California Bastiodons in with a 1-2. So as you can see, guys, this is a very open as well. This table, still plenty of Pokemon left to play, as Weo says, and Matt. So let's jump into the fixtures for this week. Here we are, week 4. So we have got the South Croydon Saws, who are second place, against Inglorious Surfers first place. They both know each other really well, and I'm expecting them to pull out all stops. They know each other's playstyles really well, so it will be an interesting match. Next game is the Newcastle Thunderous versus Celtic Celebes. Apologies, off the top of my head, I can't actually remember. Newcastle Thunderous was in the last spot. Celtic Celebes, I believe, was in the third place. So really, like I said, though, those divisions, the East and West, any result can mean quite a lot at the moment. So we've got Toed Star Belgrade, Mr. Jurgen Hopp versus the ShadowKings. Dogsy, they both know each other's playstyle really well from last season, and yeah, so this is going to be a really interesting game as well, because I think the divisions are going to sort of change quite a lot from these results from this week. So taking some water. Matt told me to bring lots, and I did. California Bastiodons versus the Slithering Sceptiles. So California Bastiodons hoping to get out of that last place spot and push up a bit further on that table. We've also got Bulu Boys versus 200 Candies. Now these guys are going to want to win like the game, because I'm sure Matt just wants to keep the ball rolling, keep those victories coming, and yeah, he's just going to want to win. And the same with 200 Candies, he's going to want to, you know, push up as well. And last but not least, we've got the Season 1 champion Latvians Miami Heat versus Silly's Long Island Goomies. Very interesting game. Will Latvian continue his streak? Who knows? So let's just jump straight into game 1 of the evening. This is the game 1. So the sliver. I've just realised I've done things a bit differently. So this is quite new for you guys. Here we are. So Slithering Sceptiles. This is his team. As you can see, this is the Pokemon that he's brought into the games. As you can see, the Tyranitar, the Togekiss, and the Dracozolt, equally, all of them come in quite regularly to these games. So it will be an interesting to see if he brings those 3 as a core. The Arcanine coming in every now and again, Lopunny, and then Bronzong showing its face every now and again. Aegislash unfortunately hasn't seen a game yet. It's been benched, but who knows, maybe tonight is the night. Here is the Dracozolt and Tyranitar. So these are like sort of the main Pokemon that I've chosen out that will hopefully shine for him. So we've got the Dracozolt, of course, as you can see, really good. 6 kills, 6 deaths, not bad. Tyranitar with 6 KOs together with that indirect one, and then 5 deaths. So yeah, really good stuff. These are sort of like the main, the core that you want to see from his team. And then let's jump into the California Bastiodons team. As you can see, the one thing that catches your eye most is that Metagross. Metagross, of course, come in almost in every single game, and it is absolutely wreaking havoc at the moment. We've got the Hitmontop making quite a few appearances, and then the Urshifu making a couple, and Dugtrio making quite a few as well. So really interesting team. If we look at his top mons, so his 2 top mons, of course, we've got the Metagross there, and what a absolute beast. It has got 17 KOs altogether and 5 deaths. That is just madness. That's like so good. Like it's definitely a tier 1, and you can see why it's a tier 1. Amazing. And then Hitmontop, I think, is one of the top players of his team. It's a really good Pokemon. It's got not many kills, but it just helps in support. And I think as a tier 3 mon, it's a cracking thing. So let's jump into the games, guys. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's jump into the games and take a look. So California Bastiodons start off with that Dracozolt and Tyranitar lead, like I said. The Urshifu and the Hitmontop come out. That Intimidate coming down, probably really good for him. Those attack drops are really crappy for Tyranitar and Dracozolt. Will there be a switch out? Who knows? I mean, Urshifu. Oh, okay. There's the detect from the Urshifu Water. Fake out from the Hitmontop. Okay. Rock Slide comes out. It's a little bit of chip damage, but not too much. Not too much. That will break a potential sash on that Urshifu though. That sand chip. So it'll be interesting to see what goes on here. Will Omar go for the Tyranitar with Surging Strikes? What will Hitmontop do here as well? Will it do coaching? Who knows? Yeah, that's just okay. Yeah, no worries. So the close combat. Sorry. Yeah, that's alright. No worries. So the Metagross comes in. I don't know if you guys saw there, but Hitmontop taking out that Tyranitar. That attack drop coming in really good again against that Dracozolt. The Metagross is on the field now, which is kind of scary. As you saw from the stats, Metagross is a force to be reckoned with. But, you know, the Togekiss is really weak against it as well. But, oh, okay, so the Togekiss actually Dynamaxes. Fake Out, he predicts that. Bolt Beak into that. Oh, the Max Flare. Does that proc a potential? Yeah, there's the weakness policy. Does proc it, and then Dracozolt actually goes out from that Max Quake. Now, this is quite a difficult position for Jubba. Like, I'm not sure what he can do here. I don't know if Togekiss is strong enough to take out that Metagross. We've all seen how strong that Metagross is. The Grovyle has come in, which is an interesting choice to bring into the game. Really interesting, but I am liking it. I can see Jubba's a bit in a difficult position here. That Metagross, I don't think it won't care. So there's the helping hand from the... Oh, there's the Max Flare. Oh, yes. Like I said, though, 35% damage. Leaf Storm does only 7%. And Togekiss is gone. And, yes, this is what Metagross is capable of. And really well played from Omar here. Really well played. The Togekiss just wasn't strong enough to take out that Metagross. Like, I think if the Tyranitar was, you know, maybe saved, this could have been a different story. But there's the close combat, and there's the Steel Spike just to finish that off, and that is game 1 to the California Bastiodons. Matt is apologising because it is the wrong way round, but you know, the score's there, so that's okay. So we start off with the Metagross. So yeah, sorry. So Jabba comes in with the Lopunny and the Togekiss, whereas Omar just comes in with the Metagross and Gastrodon. This is a really difficult position for Jabba. We know that Metagross can take out Togekiss if it wants to. It can do some serious damage. Gastrodon, you know, not sure what to expect from Gastrodon. It can do a number of things, you know. It can go for the yawn. It can go for a number of things. Ah, God, good breaks to take water. So, and then Lola Bunny here. Yeah, this is a really difficult position for. Oh, okay, from the switch out from Omar there, goes for the fake out into the Urshifu, and Jabba just goes for the Heat Wave, which does proc, you know, the weakness policy. There is a Spadef boost from the Max Quake. I don't know if that was the right choice, but you know, maybe Jabba is like got a plan up his sleeve. Who knows? But the Water Urshifu is out on the field, and yeah, the Water Urshifu is out on the field. So I think this is a great position for Omar to be in. Who knows? Maybe that Tyranitar is in the back who can deal with the Metagross. Who knows? There's a Detect from the Urshifu, another Heat Wave just to get some extra chip damage onto that Metagross, and then a high jump kick on top of it. The Max Rockfall, which takes out the Togekiss, and it's a really smart move from Omar there because it also takes out the Lopunny with the Sand Chip. So really smart play there. You hit two birds, one stone. So really smart play there. We've got the Galarian Rapidash out now with the I forgot his name, Grover. I don't know if this is a great position for Jabba. You know, Galarian Rapidash is super weak against Metagross. There's the switch with the Intimidate just to drop that attack, but I don't think it will matter against these two because they're both probably special attackers. There's a Max Quake from the Galarian Rapidash, but oh wow, okay, even with the Babiri Berry, Metagross manages to take out that Galarian Rapidash. Wow, that's just how impressive Metagross truly is. Truly an amazing Pokemon. There's the fake out from Hitmontop, and then this should be, yes, and there's the Iron Head from the Metagross, and that is a 2-0 to Omar. So really well played on both ends. Omar just, what can I say? The Metagross. I think that's just, that's all I can say about it. Metagross is an amazing Pokemon. It's a tier 1 for a good reason. And unfortunately, Jabba just couldn't deal with it. It's, Galarian, Moltres, and I forgot the other one. Galarian, Moltres, and someone else who's super weak to the Metagross. So not the best, maybe there was like a argument to bring Tyranitar against it instead. However, that's how it goes. If you can't deal with Metagross, you just can't deal with it. It's too hard because it hits too hard and it's too bulky on top of that. But well played to both players. And let's just jump straight into the next game. So the next game is Miami Heat versus the Long Island Goomies. Now, here is Latvians, the champion, Season 1 champions team. Latvian has got a scary team. So as you can see, Latvian has brought his Blastoise and his Urshifu more times than any other of his Pokemon. Really favouring the Blastoise and Urshifu there. Cinderace as well, coming in quite a few times. Glastrier and the Slow King as well. And then, the only things that he hasn't brought is the Riolu and the Machamp. But who knows, maybe this week it will be a different story. The top 2 Pokemon that I chose for Latvian's team is the Blastoise and Urshifu Single Strike. I mean, it goes without saying with the Urshifu Single Strike. As you can see, direct kills, 7, 5 deaths. Not a bad score there. And it's not just the, how many kills Urshifu gets. Urshifu just puts on that amazing pressure. And Blastoise is the second one. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. Direct kills, 8, deaths, 2. For a tier 2 Pokemon, I think that's unbelievable. I think that's amazing. And props to Latvian for, making a, sort of a Pokemon that's not really used that much into a really big threat. So yeah. And this is Silly's Long Island Goomies team. As you can see, he's brought the Hatterene and the Indeedee more times than anything else, and I know why. I've got a soft spot for the duo, and yeah, and it's one of the, it's a really good core. Look, Silly hasn't actually brought his Slow Bro, his Sudowoodo, or the Fletchin. He hasn't actually brought it, but maybe this week will be different though. But we've also seen quite a few appearances from the Dragalga, which is interesting. Dragalga, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And the Galarian Zapdos as well. So, top 2 Pokemon, I've chosen these 2, of course. Why wouldn't I? I just love the duo. So we've got the Indeedee female. It's not about the direct kills. It has got 2 direct kills. But Indeedee is all about just getting that, support and the redirection support as on top of that. Hatterene G-Max, 6 direct kills, 7 deaths though. But maybe this will be the week that Silly can bring back, some more kills for that Hatterene G-Max. I have asked him to try and get those KOs. Let's jump into the battles, guys, and give it a watch. So here we are, Miami Heat versus the Long Island Goomies. And Latvian comes out with his Whimsicott and Cinderace. Silly comes out with the good old duo of Indeedee and Hatterene. No Psychic Seed from the Hatterene, so that could suggest that there might be a Life Orb there. Latvian probably knows what's coming at this point in time. It's more than, is he going to think, is it going to be the Follow Me and Trick Room, or is Silly just going to straight up Gigantamax? There's the Gigantamax from Latvian's side. The Follow Me, as I suggested. The Max Flutterby coming in, which is really smart from Latvian's end because it reduces that special attack damage. Whimsicott just finishes the job on that Indeedee. That Trick Room does go up. So this is the position where Silly wants to be. but can he capitalise on the Trick Room that he's set? Really smart play from Latvian to drop that special attack though. And so Silly taking his time to think about this. So he brings out the Dragalga, not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's Dragalg, but comes out with it. I think most people know that it is quite a slow Pokemon, so it will thrive in the Trick Room here. So the Gigantamax actually comes out from the Hattering. Light Screen goes up from the Whimsicott. Really smart play there from Latvian. Max Flare, not doing too much, but the double into it didn't quite do enough. And the Max Steel Spike, not taking out the Hattering. So no KOs there from either of them. The double into the Cinderace, very smart from Silly. Unfortunately, it didn't manage to get the KO though. And Whimsicott smartly getting that Light Screen up as well. So really clever play from Latvian there to actually use screens on Whimsicott as well as speed control. So the Dragalga's come out. I don't actually know too much about this Pokemon, to be honest with you. I haven't used it all that much. I know that it's a Ghost type. No, I can't remember. I think it's Ghost type. There's a switch from Latvian, which is really good play because the Max Flare does 14% damage, so not much at all. Oh, and there's a miss on the Focus Blast. That might be really, really important. Like that could have been a really big miss there. I don't know. Maybe it would have done some damage. How much? I don't know. But Whimsicott manages just to get that Hattering off the board. So now it's actually a 4v2 at the moment. So Latvian is, Latvian is using his turns really cleverly. He's doing the right switches. He noticed that the Max Flare was more than likely going to be coming from Silly and managed to get Blastoise in. So, and it didn't do that much damage either. Did very little damage to Blastoise even in the sun. So very clever from Latvian there. So Silly just has to bring out his last Pokemon. I think, yes, he was taking a little bit longer because he was actually doing it from his mobile, if I remember. So, and he was actually, he was quite busy at the time and he was trying his best. So there's the last Pokemon with the screen cleaner, Mr. Rhyme. So really interesting choice in Pokemon here from Silly. I mean, these Pokemon work really well in Trick Room, so and he's still got 2 more turns of that Trick Room. There's the Ice Shard from Mr. Rhyme. Oh, he's procced a Weakness Policy. And then a Sludge Bomb takes out the Blastoise. Wow. Moonblast there from the Whimsicott, just chipping away at his Pokemon. So really good turn there from Silly. A really interesting play with the Weakness Policy proccing from Mr. Rhyme. Yeah, some really good stuff. Really interesting. Oh, it's a Dragon type. I remember. Dragalga is a Dragon type. In comes the Urshifu Single Strike. Like I said in the team preview, Urshifu Single Strike being like one of his top Pokemon. So I can probably expect Latvian to do some good stuff with the and it's called Bruce Lee as well. I really like that. So what do we expect? Oh, there's the Sludge Bomb, taking it down to its sash, and it gets the poison, expanding force, but that doesn't affect a Dark type. And there's the Wicked Blow just to finish off that Dragalga, and then Moonblast again from the Whimsicott, just chipping away at Silly's Pokemon. The poison was quite significant there, but can Silly manage to beat a Cinderace and a Whimsicott? The Cinderace is in Sun. There's an Iron Head from the Cinderace and just closing up that game. That is 1-0 to Latvian. Yes, really well played from Latvian there. Smartly keeping his Cinderace alive so that he could bring it in later. So Silly comes out with the same lead as last time. Latvian changes it up a little bit with that Blastoise that I said that's doing so well at the moment. instead of Whimsicott. Cinderace goes for the G-Max once again, and the Follow Me and the Flutterby once again, just dropping that as special attack. And that's a smart move from Latvian, it honestly is. There's the Water Spout. What? 49% damage onto that Hatterene. That is a lot of damage. Trick Room does go up, but unfortunately Silly's taken quite a large amount of damage. Mr. Rhyme comes in. So Silly's now got to make the decision whether to go for that G-Max with Hatterene with that -1 special attack drop. Cinderace and Blastoise, you know, who would have ever thought that a lead of Water and Fire would be, you know, truly damaging, but Latvian has just shown that it truly is a damaging duo. This looks all too familiar for me. This is reminding me too much of Season 1 with that Blastoise and Cinderace. Blastoise actually switches out a Protect from the Mr. Rhyme there. Bruce Lee comes in, but the Expanding Force doesn't do anything to it. And the Max Steel Spike just takes out that Hatterene just to finish it off. And it goes down. Yeah, unfortunately Hatterene just didn't manage to get enough damage onto that Cinderace. The Dragalga has come in here, and once again this is a 4-2. So yeah, Silly is up against 4 Pokemon and he's only got 2 left. Would he go for the Ice Shard proc once more onto his Dragalga? Cinderace is honestly putting in some really good work here. Really good work. Proven to be a formidable Pokemon against teams. Taking his time. Yeah, there's the Dynamax. Oh, we forgot about the... Okay, so I think Silly forgot about the... there's a quick... sorry, Wicked Blow. There's the special attack drop, which is going to be really significant against Silly. I think he forgot about the Psychic Terrain with Mr. Rhyme there, because he went for the Ice Shard. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off, but the Wicked Blow dealing quite a bit of damage into that Dragalga. I think it was roughly 42% it did. And then Mr. Rhyme, Mr. Rhyme unfortunately did take that Max Flutterby really well though. Silly does have 2 more turns. There's the switch, and in comes that Ice Horse that we all love. And he went for the Ice Shard once more, but the Psychic Terrain is still up, so it didn't really matter. These Max Wormwinds are coming in really good for Silly though. That Glastrier has got a -1 attack, but Dragalga is super weak, and it was a room service Glastrier if I'm not mistaken. There's the Ice Shard from Mr. Rhyme, proccing that Policy. Smart Strike from the Glastrier, not taking out Mr. Rhyme, really surprisingly. A Max Knuckle not taken out, and then an Ice Beam with a crit that unfortunately he got crit there. And unfortunately the Trick Room has now finished for Silly, which means that Blastoise is the fastest thing on this field at this moment in time. And I think all of you can imagine that the Water Spout, yes, there it goes, and that is a double KO. That is a 2-0 to Latvian. So Latvian has once again got his 4th win in the season at the moment, so 4-0. Really well played from both opponents. I really liked when Latvian is switching out the Cinderace just to preserve it in game 1, and then also switching Urshifu out just in case if the Mr. Rhyme does something to it, or you know, something like that. But really well played from Latvian. Silly got the Trick Room up, but unfortunately those Max Flutterbys were really like causing damage to his damage output. So really smart from Latvian there to do Max Flutterbys to reduce that special attack damage. Silly played really well. I think that game 1, yep, I think game 1 he could have actually turned it around in 1 point, but unfortunately I think the Dragalga just couldn't get enough damage. And no, not the Dragalga. Hatterene, sorry. Couldn't get enough damage. Did forget about the Psychic Terrain a couple of times, and that may have been really significant for him. But we all do it. We've all been there. The amount of times that I forgot about the Psychic Terrain and I've gone for a priority move. Too many times. Too many times. So guys, let's jump straight into game 3. This is the Bulu Boys versus 200 Candies. And here is 200 Candies team. As you can see, 200 Candies has brought his Dragapult more times than any other of his Pokemon. I've just seen that the Torracat doesn't have the number. If I remember correctly, guys, the Torracat has been brought 6 times. I think I want to say 6 times, 6 or 7. So apologies about that. But I think it's about 6 or 7 times that it's been brought. And it's a really good reason why, you know, it's a really great Pokemon and support, and it can do some, you know, pretty good damage as well. The 2 Pokemon that I have chosen from 200 Candies team is the Dragapult and the Torracat. Reason being, as we all know, Dragapult is just one of those Pokemon that you've got to be careful of. It can also be a really good supporting Pokemon, but it can also be one of those terrifying offensive Pokemon that can just rip your life apart. And then the second Pokemon is Torracat. Like I said, amazing. You know, the kills don't really matter for Torracat. Well, they do, but Torracat just provides that excellent support. And it's kind of like a budget. It's a tier 4 Pokemon as well. So amazing tier 4 Pokemon. It's like a budget Incineroar. So yeah. And then Matt's Bulu Boys team. Matt has brought Rillaboom more times than any other of his Pokemon. I know, you know, I can understand why. Rillaboom is an amazing Pokemon, and it can do all kinds of shenanigans. And of course, that priority Grassy Glide can come in really good. Obstagoon and Tornadus also coming in quite a fair few times. Unfortunately, Relicanth, Xatu and Metang have not seen a game yet. They've been benched for quite a few weeks, so maybe they're going to ask for a transfer in the transfer market. And then we've got his G-Max Colossal, which has popped up every now and again, and yeah, got to be careful of that thing. The 2 Pokemon that I've chosen from Matt's team is the Rillaboom and the Obstagoon. Rillaboom, you know, is a really good Pokemon. Like I said, direct kills, 6 deaths. So doing really well. It's been drafted twice, and yeah, there's an understandable reason why. In fact, it's actually been drafted 3 times because Celtic Celebes also has it. So it's technically been drafted 3 times. And then the second Pokemon is the Obstagoon. As you can see, it's been brought out 7 times. It's got 5 kills, 5 deaths, so equal, you know, 50-50. But it's a tier 3, and I think it's a great tier 3 Pokemon, and I can see why Matt keeps bringing it, because I personally love it. Let's jump straight into the games, guys. I'll stop waffling on. Here we are, so Bulu Boys and 200 Candies. Matt leads with the Colossal and Dragonite lead, and then 200 Candies comes out with 2 Sleep Pokemon. He's got the Butterfree and Jinx. Matt will be wondering, you know, which one should I take out? Which one has the Sash as well? You know, both of these Pokemon aren't that bulky, so which one has the Sash? Matt must be seeing that sleep coming. The unfortunate thing is that both of these Pokemon can put you to sleep. So which one does Matt want? Aaron, do you rate late? Yes, Dogsy, I do rate Latvian as a player. I rate him highly. So Matt's taken his time here. I can understand why, because you don't really want to be put to sleep in this position. You could switch in that Rillaboom and stop a potential sleep powder from the Butterfree at least. Let's see what Matt does here. You know, 200 Candies has... Oh, there's the G-Max. He goes for the G-Max with the Colossal. Fake out from the Dragonite, but that won't matter because Dragonite is in a focus. There's the Aqua Jet just to proc that policy and the Steam Engine. Matt goes for the... Oh, okay, the Jinx goes down. Oh, and it gets put to sleep. Yeah, this is the problem. This is the problem with having two Pokemon in front of you that can put you to sleep. You're not sure which one has the sash, or you're just not sure which one to go for. It's kind of like a coin flip in this situation. There's no wrong or right answer. Matt did the best he could. 200 candies, comes in with Terrakion. So this is quite a scary position for Matt to be in. Terrakion just go for that D-Max, and he's gonna. You can probably see that Quake. Yep, there it is. Oh, and Matt actually survives from that Max Quake. Sleep powder, but that doesn't matter because always safety goggles. Really smart item play from Matt there. Safety goggles is coming in really good. Dual Wind Beat takes out that Butterfree, so that's two of the sleep Pokemon that have actually gone down. Now, it'll be an interesting turn, this one. Will 200 candies go for that beat up onto the Terrakion, or will the Dragapult go for screens? Like I said, oh, and Matt actually wakes up, and the Quake, which brings it down to 46%, and there's the beat up that we all love to see. Brings it down to 42% now. And then the Rockfall, 200 candies actually targets the Dragonite this time. But I can understand why. You wouldn't really want to target the Colossal because you wouldn't expect it to wake up on after turn 1. So quite fortunate there from Matt waking up on turn 1. The Obstagoon comes in for Matt. He's in a pretty good position. It's a 3v2 at the moment. Matt has got that steam engine rolling still. Obstagoon, Dragapult is weak against that Obstagoon, so it needs to be careful. Where is it carrying a Protect? Who knows? But really quite fortunate with the RNG there. But that's Pokemon. It happens. You only get one turn sleep. I've had it done to me. There's the Earth Power. I'm not taken out yet, but there's the Dragon Darts, bringing that 30% onto the Obstagoon. Max Knuckle into that. And that just takes out Obstagoon. Unfortunately, this is now a 2v1, so it has turned. The tables have turned in one turn. Unfortunately, that Earth Power not doing, and Matt has Tornadus as the last one. Not sure if that's the right choice. Maybe Matt's kicking himself for bringing Tornadus as his last Pokemon. Maybe Blacephalon or even the Rillaboom would have been maybe a better choice here. But who knows? Maybe Matt's got something up his sleeve. There's a Dragon Darts taking it. And that's game 1 to 200 candies. Wow, yeah, really good game, really entertaining. Unfortunately, Matt did get put to sleep. And there's the Dragapult and Terrakion lead this time. And Matt changes things up with Blacephalon and Colossal. So really interesting stuff here. Will Blacephalon go for that famous Mind Blown that we all love to see? That would proc a steam engine from that Colossal. Unfortunately, it won't proc that policy though. And maybe Matt needs that policy just to provide that extra damage. Matt does know that he can survive a hit from that Terrakion though, with a Max Quake. So really interesting sort of turn here. This turn 1 will be quite significant, I think. Will 200 candies go for that beat up play? Would it go for Phantom Force? A number of things can happen here. A number of things. There's the D-Max from the Terrakion. Matt does go for the G-Max, so it's... Oh, and there's a Shadow Ball. Oh my, and it takes out the Dragapult. So no beat up coming his way. And like I said at the start, Matt knows he can survive a hit from that Terrakion, and he reciprocates that hit with a Max Quake. Both dealing, significant amount of damage to each other. That was really good play from Matt there to go for the Shadow Ball into the Dragapult. In comes Butterfree, not great because Butterfree is a pain and you don't want to be put to sleep again. So Matt has to choose his turn here carefully. Terrakion, there's the Max Guard from Matt. Shadow Ball bringing that Butterfree down to its sash. Yep, the Quake from the Terrakion, which isn't going to matter because of that max guard, and the Sleep Powder cleverly on the Blacephalon. So 200 candies did correctly go for that Blacephalon. I can see why, though, you would take out the Colossal regardless, and the Sleep Powder just puts that Blacephalon to sleep. So once again, Matt has another Pokemon that is... Matt has another Pokemon that has gone to sleep. So Matt has to choose his turn here carefully. Will he sack the Colossal? Who knows? Will he switch it out? Terrakion is looking scary. There's a Rage Powder from the Butterfree, and yeah, unfortunately, Colossal does go down. I think that is the right play from Matt. Matt has the Rillaboom this time, which is really good. So with the Grassy Seed, which is really a really good position to be in, because Rillaboom ignores those Rage Powders. It can't be put to sleep, and Terrakion, unfortunately, is super weak against the Rillaboom. So an amazing position to be in. Switches out the Blacephalon. Candies goes for the switch as well, dropping... Oh, and he procs that Defiant boost on Obstagoon. The Grassy Glide, unfortunately not doing that much damage. And an Air Slash from the Butterfree. Doing some, doing quite a bit of damage there. I think that was at least 50. I didn't quite catch the amount that it did, but that did some significant damage. So Matt has to be careful of this Butterfree. And the Torracat that has now come in. However, Matt does have a Obstagoon on the board now that has had its Defiant ability procced. So clever choice of abilities there from Matt. 200 candies is in a pretty good position though. 200 candies can go for that Sleep Powder once more onto that Obstagoon if it wants to. And Torracat, one Flare Blitz from Torracat can perhaps take out that Rillaboom. Who knows? Maybe it's special attack instead. So a bit equal now. Matt has to be careful. There's a Protect from the Butterfree. Protect from the Rillaboom, which is a very smart play. Throat Chop, unfortunately, not taken out. Oh, Throat Chop not taking out that Butterfree. But equally, that Flare Blitz not taking out the Rillaboom. So again, they're both kind of stuck in this position where they're not sure what to do. There's a Rage Powder from the Butterfree. Glassy Glide takes it out. Throat Chop from the Obstagoon, but unfortunately doesn't. Oh, and Rillaboom actually survives the Flare Blitz. That's really impressive. So maybe Matt's Rillaboom is fairly bulky. The Terrakion comes back in for 200 candies. I'm really surprised about that Rillaboom. So that could be a bulky Rillaboom, or maybe the Torracat doesn't have... There's a Grassy Glide finishing off that Terrakion, and then Throat Chop finishes off that Torracat. That is a 1-1 now, ladies and gentlemen. And wow, that was a really good game. Matt, tanked that Flare Blitz, so really impressive. 200 candies goes for the same lead, as does Matt. Matt goes for his same lead, so the Blacephalon and Colossal lead. What is it they say? If it isn't broken, don't try and fix it. Yeah, that's what they say. So does Matt want to go for that Shadow Ball once more into that Dragapult, just to get rid of it, to stop any beat up or anything like that? Does 200 candies Dynamax his Terrakion once again? Does Matt G-Max his Colossal? Really, really exciting stuff here. Really exciting stuff. Oh, a Dragapult actually switches out into Snorlax, which could be significant if he goes for that Shadow Ball. And Matt actually goes for the Mind's Blown instead and procs that Steam Engine, getting that Max Quake, and gets a crit. That might be really significant there. And the Max Quake not taking out his Colossal, and it does proc that Policy once again. So, wow, really smart play from Matt there. Not to be... Because I can understand why 200 candies goes for that switch. It was a really smart switch. Unfortunately, Matt was just very clever and Red into it, or just goes for the Mind Blown instead. But really clever from Matt there. There's a Volcalith, not taking out that Snorlax, goes for the Mind Blown once again, taking himself out and the Snorlax. And there's 3 Pokemon all gone down in one turn. Much to Matt, you know, taking himself out as well as the Snorlax, and then unfortunately Colossal not taking out that Snorlax with the Volcalith. Volcalith is up though. Dragapult comes in, and Matt's last 2 is the Rillaboom and the Obstagoon. So Matt's in a pretty good position here. You know, the Grassy Glide will take out that Terrakion if Candies doesn't max guard. And Obstagoon being, you know, being strong against that Dragapult, so it's not a great position for Candies. I think he has to go for the max guard to stop that Grassy Glide. Let's see what the Obstagoon goes for. Could go for that Throat Chop into that Dragapult. I'm not sure if it will take it out, but you know, Obstagoon is quite a strong Pokemon. And this is turning into quite... There's the Grassy Glide. No, actually, max guard from Candies. Dragon Darts just not doing enough damage, unfortunately, even with the Life Orb. And there's the red card from Matt that brings out Jinx instead and takes it out with a Throat Chop. And wow, Matt's just completely turned this game around now. Red card, really great play from Matt. And now unfortunately it's a 2v1 and Dragapult can't do enough damage into both of these Pokemon. There's a Grassy Glide, just bringing it down to almost 50%. Goes for the Fly this time. Volcalith damage actually, you know, doing some more damage, bringing it down to 39%. Matt smartly goes for the Protect here. Fly doesn't hit, and Throat Chop finishes off the game, and that is a 2-1 to Matt. And wow, I've got to say, like that, those were really, really good games. Game 1, 200 Candies taking control of that game, not allowing Matt to utilize his Colossal effectively. So really smart from 200 Candies there. And I think Matt realised that in game 1 that Tornadus just wasn't cutting it, so he changed it up in game 2. Brings in the Rillaboom and the Obstagoon as the backup mons, and yeah, it paid off amazingly. The Shadow Ball into Dragapult was really effective in game 2 because it just stopped all beat up plays, and with no Sash as well. So yeah, really smart from Matt to use that. Unfortunately, Terrakion just can't do enough damage without that beat up into the Colossal, and Max Quake just doesn't do enough. But equally, Terrakion being bulky enough to take those Max Quakes from the Colossal, even with a weakness policy. So really, really good, really good. The one play that I just really loved from Matt, actually 2 plays that I loved from Matt, was game 3, turn 1. Amazing play with not reading. I don't know if Matt read into the switch in from Snorlax, because if he had gone into the Shadow Ball into that slot, Snorlax, it wouldn't have worked because he would have been immune, but he goes for the Mind Blown instead. So I just want to say that that's just like an amazing read, if it was a read, and props to Matt. And also the item choice as well. So the red card on Obstagoon there, like providing like really good, like it was just amazing, like really great. The red card, really good. You take out Jinx and Dragapult is left on its own. So wow, yeah. So really well played from Matt. Matt looks like he's going to be doing a Aaron, if you want to call it that, from season 1. I lost 2 games in a row and then went on from there, winning quite a few. So congrats to Matt. Unfortunately, 200 Candies lost that game, but 200 Candies has got a team that can, you know, he's got a strong team. Never underestimate any opponent, really. But I'm sure 200 Candies will come back from this loss and get stronger for the next one. So we have got game 4, guys, and this week this is in the East. So we have got South Croydon Soars with his Pokemon and who he has brought. As you can see, Krizzle has brought the Porygon Z more times than any of his Pokemon. And I can understand why. Porygon Z is a really strong Pokemon. It's got a lot of tricks up its sleeve. No pun intended there, because it can do Trick Room. He's also brought Togetic quite a few times because of that redirection support. Strangely though, about Krizzle's team, we've seen Torkoal come 3 times, but no Venusaur with it. Will this be the week where Venusaur comes in? Who knows? The 2 Pokemon that I chose significantly for his team, who have been shining at the moment, is the Togetic, because of the redirection support and the support in general that Togetic provides. As a tier 3 Pokemon, it's really great. And the other one is Porygon Z. As you can see, 13 kills. Not bad at all. Matches played 9, direct kills 13, and 7 deaths only. And it's a tier 2 Pokemon as well. So yeah, those are the 2 Pokemon that I think are significant for his team. As you can see, the Inglorious Surfers here. So AaronTMarshall, myself. Oh my god, Bulu hasn't got the damn thing as well. Okay, Bulu's come 5 times, guys. I did do these quite quickly, but it's come 5 times, Bulu. But as you can see, the Thundurus and the Kingdra have come more times than any other Pokemon. Unfortunately, Ordino and the Pikachu G-Max not making an appearance yet, but maybe this week they will. Darmanitan coming in quite a few times, Harlucha and Registeel as well. The 2 Pokemon that I've chosen for this team that are significant is the combo of the Thundurus and Kingdra. If you've been watching the content, you know how dangerous this Pokemon is. Kingdra with 13 KOs as well, and 4 deaths only. So, and it's a tier 2 Pokemon, so really good stuff from a tier 2 Pokemon. And then the Thundurus, as you can see, not many direct kills, but AaronTMarshall has been using it mostly as a supporting type. Guys, let's jump straight into the games and check the content out. So, South Croydon Soars versus the Inglorious Surfers. Krizzle comes out with Sneasel and Cobalion, and Aaron comes out with that combo, like I just said, of the Thundurus and the Kingdra. Now, will Krizzle go for that beat up play, or will he just go for a fake out? Sneasel can do quite a number of things here. It can go for a triple axle into that Thundurus if it wants to, or it can just go straight for the beat up. But what will Aaron do here? Aaron's got a choice to make. Is that, and I think the question as well is always, is that a Prankster or is that a Defiant Thundurus? You never know with like Thundurus which one to expect. It's kind of like the same with Tornadus as well. It could be a Defiant, it could be could be anything. Both opponents though go for the D-Max fake out into that Thundurus slot, and the Rockfall, oh, that's going to be really significant, but no, the Charty Berry stops any significant damage. Max Geyser from the Kingdra. Aaron, I don't think wanted to, perhaps maybe that was a bit of a mistake from Aaron there, because if he had gone for like a Wormwind instead, that Sneasel would have been taken out from the Sand Chip damage. So maybe a bit of a mistake there from Aaron, but nevertheless he's brought it down to its sash, so he does know its item now. Really good item choice from Aaron with the Charty Berry, stopping that KO on the first turn. Krizzle smartly going for, there's a Thunder Wave from the Thundurus, which slows that Cobalion down, but doesn't paralyze it, with the Rockfall taking out that Thundurus. Kingdra does take out that Sneasel though, so no beat up for the Cobalion, unfortunately. And with the Max Wormwind, it unfortunately gets a minus attack. So smart play from Aaron there. Darmanitan comes in for Aaron, and Togetic, as I said, comes in for Krizzle. Togetic providing some great support for Krizzle over the week so far. Does Aaron want to go for the, I mean, I think in this position you wouldn't really want to go for that Wormwind because of the Fairy type. There's the Follow Me from Krizzle, a U-turn from the Darmanitan, and in comes Registeel, an airstream from Aaron, just getting that speed up. Not really going to be that significant. There's a rockfall from the Cobalion, but that is going to do no damage to that Registeel. Registeel comfortably takes that, especially with the leftovers afterwards. So Cobalion is in a bit of a sticky position here. It's got a -1 attack and it's paralyzed. And unfortunately Togetic's not just going to do enough damage. And Registeel, as we all know, Registeel, if you leave it alone too long, it will just keep getting those boosts. There's a Protect from the Togetic. Hydro Pump into that slot, which almost takes out that Porygon Z. And there is a Iron Defense from that Registeel, boosting its defense up, getting ready for that Cobalion in the back, more than likely. So, really, really good RNG, I suppose you can say, for Aaron, because you know, Hydro Pump isn't the most effective. Another Hydro Pump, and as I just said, he does miss this one, and Porygon Z almost takes it out, and Registeel gets an Amnesia just to deal with that Porygon Z better. And as you can see, Togetic and Porygon Z on quite low HP. Porygon Z will go down, perhaps, on this turn, but Registeel is bulking itself up. It's got 1 Amnesia at the moment and an Iron Defense as well. There's the Follow Me from Togetic. Flare Blitz taking Togetic out, and Darmanitan taking that recoil. And oh, Porygon Z takes out that Darmanitan, and another Iron Defense from that Registeel, getting its bulk up even more. Like I said, to be honest, as I said, to be honest, if you leave the Registeel alone too long, it will just keep on bulking itself up. And with there's the Thunderbolt from the Porygon Z. It's not going to matter. Body Press just finishes the job on that Porygon Z. Close combat, but only 17%, I'm afraid, from the Cobalion, and that is a stab, super effective move, and it only did 17%. Those Iron Defenses coming in really good for Aaron there. Body Press going in and taking out that Cobalion. Wow, really good stuff from Aaron there. Unfortunately, Krizzle just couldn't deal with the Registeel with all those boosts. So no changes in leads here. Aaron goes with that Kingdra and Thundurus lead once more. Krizzle goes for that Cobalion and Sneasel lead. Will things be a little bit different here, however? You could be thinking like, maybe I need to go for the beat up instead, just to get that like more damage into that Thundurus. Will Aaron go for the same play with the Max Geyser to change the weather? Will Thundurus go with Thunder Wave? Who knows? And Krizzle commits to the D-Max, and Aaron commits to the D-Max as well. There's the Thunder Wave, and oh, okay. So Thunder Wave does come off, but the beat up is now. This is going to probably KO that Thundurus with the Rockfall. Max Wormwind, which does bring it down to a little bit more. And oh, and there's the Paralyze. How important is that for Aaron? There's the big Paralyze, which I'm sure Krizzle, you know, that's not great for him. That's not good. That Paralyze could be really significant, because if you manage to get a Rockfall or a Steel Spike or anything into that Thundurus slot, you're more than likely taking it out. So that could have been really significant there. The Sneasel is down to its Sash. Will Krizzle just go for another beat up to boost that attack up even more? Or will he just go for the triple axle? But really good turn there for Aaron. RNG coming in quite a bit there for the Inglorious Surfers. And there's the Rain Dance, boosting that speed, and a Max Wormwind once again dropping that attack down even more onto that Cobalion. There's the Airstream, bringing it down to about 65% on the Kingdra. You got to think to yourself though, if Kingdra just keeps on going for the Wormwinds, it will just keep on dropping that attack. Unfortunately though, Togetic has come in, which means that no more Wormwinds. And there's the Follow Me. Max Geyser, Aaron cleverly goes for the Rain move, and Thunderbolt from Mr. T there, which takes out the Togetic. And then there's the max rockfall, but again, it's not unfortunately taking out the Thunderous. So Krizzle has now got a 2v4. He's in a 2v4 position, which is not the kind of position you want to be in. But he has got that Porygon Z, and that Porygon Z can pack a punch. As you've seen, it has got 13 KOs this season. Aaron in quite a good position. He could go for that Rain Dance once more just to boost up that speed of Kingdra. Or he could go for the Thunder Wave into that Porygon Z slot. There's a number of options that Aaron can go for. Krizzle can go for some damage still with that Cobalion. Rock Slide, sorry. There's a taunt from the Mr. T there, and Tri Attack actually takes out the Kingdra, but unfortunately he gets paralyzed again with the Cobalion, and again that is probably significant because a Rock Slide there would have taken out Mr. T. I'm not sure what Aaron was thinking, like what would have happened there with the taunt. Maybe predicting a Trick Room, or I'm not sure. But you got to be wondering, was that turn a change, like a game changer? Because if there's the Flare Blitz taking out the Cobalion, it doesn't matter. Darmanitan putting in some work here. Thunderbolt from Mr. T. Tri Attack does take out the Darmanitan, so this is now like turned quite a lot. But that last Pokemon is that Registeel, and we have seen that Porygon Z just can't deal enough damage. And there's the Thunderbolt getting a 2-0 for the Inglorious Surfers. And yeah, really well played from both players. It's weird saying my name. Matt, you're probably used to it now. But AaronTMarshall, playing really well, keeping the speed, keeping the pressure with the Thunder Wave, dropping that attack on the Cobalion. I think in game 2 there was quite a bit of RNG luck for Aaron's side. 2 paralysis, which more than likely helped out quite a bit. And then Krizzle, unfortunately, the Charty Berry actually coming in really good for Aaron there. The Cobalion, unfortunately, just couldn't do enough damage into Aaron's Pokemon. Cobalion can be a formidable foe. We all know that it can be a formidable foe, especially with that beat up. So, unfortunately, Porygon Z was trying to sweep up at the end there for Krizzle, but it just couldn't deal with Registeel. It couldn't deal with Thunderous, with those Thunderbolts. So yeah, so really good games. Aaron is now same as Latvian, 4-0. So really, really good stuff there from the guys. And I'm sure Krizzle will want to come back stronger than ever against the Aaron in the next away game, shall we call it. Let's jump straight into just jump straight into game 5, guys, because I'm waffling on. And here we have got Newcastle Thunderous. Now, Dave has got the same amount of win-losses as quite a few of the guys in the league at the moment, so he's going to want to pick up this win, to be honest with you. He's got as you can see, the G-Max Venusaur and the Incineroar have come more times than any other Pokemon. Ninetales, just close behind. Reason being, the Sun Core is a formidable duo, and they can be terrifying to deal with. If you can't deal with the Venusaur, you're going to be in trouble. Dave has got himself quite an interesting team here with the Sun Core, and then there's like some Trick Room as well from the Hatterene and the Executor. Executor hasn't seen any games yet, and neither has Talonflame, but maybe this week they'll come in. The 2 Pokemon that I've chosen is the Sun duo. Dave has been using them quite a lot, and I know there's a reason why. It's because it's amazing. It's an amazing core. Unfortunately, not many direct kills from the Venusaur, but that doesn't matter. The residual damage from the Vine Lash is what matters, to be honest. Ninetales picking up 4 KOs actually, which isn't too bad for a tier 3 Pokemon, I've got to say. So it'll be interesting to see if Dave brings them back in. Now, Draco, his team here, his Dracovish and the Tapu Lele have come to almost every game. I think that Dracovish has come to every game. He's, I suppose, this is little mascot. And it's an amazing Pokemon. I personally love it. I've loved it. I've used it in drafts more times than I can count. And yeah, I really love it as a Pokemon. Strangely enough, the G-Max Rillaboom hasn't come to a single game yet. Will this week be different though? Will that Rillaboom make its debut? Haunter, you know, I've got nightmares about that stuff now. No pun intended, because it's a ghost. But yeah, the two Pokemon that I've chosen are those two that he's brought mostly to the games. As I spoke about, Dracovish, you know, he's played 10 matches, 6 KOs, 5 deaths. Tier 1 Pokemon, amazing Pokemon, especially with Sand Rush, Strong Jaw, Water Absorb, 3 really good abilities there. Tapu Lele come in 9 times, 5 KOs and 7 deaths. Not as many KOs, but to be honest, Tapu Lele also provides that support from the Psychic Terrain. That's why I love it so much, and it's a tier 2, which I think is amazing as well. So a really good pick from Draco there. But let's jump straight into the games, guys. Newcastle Thunderous versus the Celtic Celebes. Draco comes out with that Waka Waka Lele and Goodyear Drift Blimp. Dave comes out with his Klefki and Lantern. Dynamax straight away from Draco. No messing about. Moonblast into that Lantern and a Max Phantasm. Klefki does manage to get a Thunder Wave, but no Paralysis. Eerie Impulse, but this is going too far, sorry. The Max Phantasm into the Lantern, taking it out. Stakataka does get that attack drop, and I think Dave didn't realise the Psychic Terrain was there because the Thunder Wave wouldn't have mattered. Max Hailstorm, but that doesn't matter into the Incineroar. Thunder Crash doing significantly less damage because of the Incineroar and Fake Out from the Incineroar there. Ally Switch and a Strength Sap from the Drift Blim, so getting its health back and dropping that attack as well. Really clever stuff. Klefki Strength Sap once more into that Incineroar. D-Gleam just chipping away at these two Pokemon. Flare Blitz from the Incineroar there, and Stakataka just taking out that Klefki finally and getting that Beast Boost, which is quite significant because Dave does have 2 physical Pokemon. Stakataka gets swapped out for Tapu Lele. Dave goes for his D-Max now with the Rockfall from the Landorus, taking out that Drift Blim and the Darkest Lariat into the Lele, but not dealing too much damage because of those attack drops. Ally Switch and a Psychic there from the Tapu Lele. Max Flutterby, really smart stuff from Dave there because it drops special attack on that Lele. Unfortunately, the hit from Incineroar didn't take it out. Ally Switch once again and Psychic into the Landorus. Special defense boost from the Max Quake. Max Flare from... And he gets the burn as well. Burn onto the Stakataka. That could be really significant. Dracovish joins in the game. Fly and it goes for the Substitute. I think everyone knows now that Draco does love his Substitute Dracovish. Flare Blitz taking out that Stakataka. Oh, and the Fly missed. That might be huge for Dracovish because the Fisher's Rend takes out the Incineroar, and the Fisher's Rend there takes out the Landorus. So that is a 1-0 to the Celtic Celebes, and wow, what a game. That was really quick paced as well. So Draco comes in with a Vikavolt and Stakataka. Dave come in with 9,000 Klefki. It goes for the D-Max straight away with the... And there's the Paralyze. Heat Wave doing really good damage into the Stakataka and the Vikavolt. But the Trick Room comes out. Lantern comes in. There's a Paralysis, unfortunately, from the Stakataka. Now you've got to wonder, is Trick Room the right way to go for Vikavolt? But it does manage to take out the Lantern with the max flutterby. I think that crit mattered quite significant, you know. Ninetales comes back in, reflects from the Clef Key, which does actually probably save. Oh no, but the Thunderbolt does manage to take out that Ninetales. And in comes that Venusaur, and it goes straight away for that G-Max. Heat Crash does not work because it doesn't work, unfortunately. Bug Buzz not doing too much damage. D-Gleam likewise. There's the Max Ooze. Quite clever from Dave there to boost his own special attack. And Max Quake finishing off that Stack Attacker. And the D-Gleam just finishing off that Vikavolt. So this game is turning around quickly for Matt. Dracovish and Tapu Lele are the last two. Psychic going on to that Venusaur but not taking it out. Max Ooze does take out that Tapu Lele, however. And Dracovish goes for that substitute, but it's not going to matter because D-Gleam just takes it away. Vicious Rend, whoa, takes out the Venusaur. And Klefki, oh, does the D-Gleam, but not quite. Vicious Rend doesn't quite take out the Klefki. And Klefki picks up a KO against the Dracovish. So this is now a 1-1. It's really interesting games here. Dracovish goes for that Lele and Drifblim. Dave comes in with that Klefki and Ninetales lead again. This time the Drifblim does go for the D-Max, but Ninetales actually D-Maxes this time. Thunder Wave onto that Drifblim, which is really smart from Dave there. Max Darkness not doing too much damage, unfortunately. But Psychic, oh, doing more than 50%. And then an Airstream, just getting it down to like 25%. That's a lot. Reflect comes up, but unfortunately Psychic just takes out that Ninetales. And another Airstream for the Drifblim, probably bringing its speed back up to normal. Paralyze onto the Drifblim, which might be significant here. Psychic not doing too much. Discharge, oh, not doing too much damage, but a little bit of chip. Psychic bringing it down, and there's a special defense drop, which isn't good because another special defense drop onto the Lantern. Klefki does manage to take out the Lele and continuing to discharge here from Dave. Protect comes out on Lantern, which does stop a Shadow Ball. Klefki does manage to get rid of that Drifblim with a Dazzling Gleam. This is looking quite... Oh, there's the Heat Crash from the Stack Attacker, which takes out Klefki. This is now a 2v2, and Dracovish comes in. Fisher's Rend this time, straight away, no substitute. Sleep Powder, which does put it to sleep. Discharge from the... discharge from the Lantern, and unfortunately Heat Crash does take out that Venusaur. It's now a 2v1. Scald into the... Oh, and there's the burn into the Stack Attacker. That might be huge for Dave there. Leftovers coming on really good. Another turn of Sleep. Discharge doesn't manage to take out that Stack Attacker. And Gyro Ball almost bringing it down. The burn does take out the Stack Attacker. Oh, another Sleep from... And Scald. Was that a mistake from Dave, though? The Discharge might have done more damage to the Dracovish. Draco does go for the Outrage this time. And he's probably wondering, is it a Water Absorb? And that is game 2 to Draco and the God, my mouth. God, I don't know how Matt does this every week. Wow, I had to speak so fast there. Yeah, wow. Those were really good 3 games there. Dave almost pulling it off at the end there, almost. I don't know if Dave wanted to go for the Scald there, because Discharge might have finished the job on that Dracovish. Who knows? Dave might be kicking himself now for not going for that, because Scald, unfortunately, is not doing too much damage into a Dracovish. And Draco being really clever there, not going for the Fisher's Rend, because just in case if Lantern is a Water Absorb, you're just gonna heal it, and then you're in big trouble. So really smart from Draco there to identify that he needs to go for the Outrage instead. Yeah, my voice honestly in my throat, almost done now. But yeah, so really good stuff from Draco there. Dave unfortunately just not managing to pick up the win this week. But I know Dave, he's also feeling really crappy this week. I hope Dave gets better from COVID. I've had it and I feel him. So get better, Dave. We're all thinking about you, mate. And next week, make sure to get that win, okay? Because you should be feeling better by that point. Should. So, guys, just jump straight into Game 6, the last game of the evening. And this is this Toed Star Belgrade versus ShadowKings. And Weo's team here, we have got the G-Max Corviknight and the Jellicent coming into more games than any of the other Pokemon. Weo is proving that he's picked up a good G-Max. Like, G-Max Corviknight is not something to laugh about. He's proved that he can use it in ways that matter. Unfortunately, Wobbuffet and Oranguru haven't made an appearance for Weo's team yet. I decided to choose the female Wobbuffet because it's got lipstick on and it looks funny. So yeah, Weo's team is the Rotom Heat making a couple of appearances and the Drapion coming in quite a few times. The two Pokemon that I chose from his team is the Corviknight G-Max and the Jellicent. Jellicent actually picking up 7 KOs and 5 deaths for a tier 3 Pokemon. That is actually pretty good because it's yes, and it's only been picked once, so we didn't actually, no one picked it in the last season, so really interesting stuff here. Corviknight picking up 3 KOs and having 7 deaths, but to be honest, for a G-Max, for Corviknight, that's not too bad because Corviknight doesn't really want to get the KOs. All it wants to do is boost its defense stats and special defense stats. So those are the two Pokemon that I chose for Weo that are significant. Dogsy with his ShadowKings team. As you can see, Dogsy's team is like super scary. Dogsy's got the Comfey and the Salamence coming in more times than any of the other Pokemon. Clefairy coming in 7 times. Coffin has not come. That's a 0, by the way, guys. Coffin. I seem to have forgotten quite a few. The Combusken, the Fire Chicken, has not come at all yet. Katana has only come twice. So quite interesting there. Katana only coming twice. The two Pokemon that I chose is the Salamence and the Comfey from Dogsy's team. Salamence goes without saying. 8 KOs, 6 deaths. Tier 2 Pokemon. It is doing really well. Dogsy has shown people that it is a threat and you shouldn't take Salamence lightly. Comfey, tier 2 Pokemon, absolutely amazing, because Comfey just provides that support and it is an amazing support Pokemon. But last but not least, guys, the last game of the evening, we have got Mr. Toad, Mr. Jurgen Hopp even, and Dogsy. So, Toed Star Belgrade comes in with the Mr. Rhyme Galar and Raichu. And there is the Comfey and Salamence duo, as I said, from Dogsy. He does favour it, and I know why. Salamence is an amazing Pokemon. Mr. Rhyme Galar is an interesting choice from Mr. Jurgen Hopp here. I wonder what his plan is. There's Cheez-Its, Raichu. I think Raichu probably wants to get out of this situation, but maybe a fake out from the Raichu or Charm. There's a D-Max from the Mr. Rhyme Galar and the D-Max from the Salamence, and the fake out does come, but unfortunately, Comfey does get faked out. And then, oh my god, Max Hailstorm actually takes out Salamence, and wow, oh my word, Dogsy must be in awe right now because the Mr. Rhyme Galar has just OHKO'd that Salamence that has week after week proven that it is a threat to be reckoned with, and Mr. Jurgen Hopp just shows that it is not a threat to him. Fake out from the Ditto there, Raichu should I say, Draining Kiss, but the not doing too much damage. Max Hailstorm brings that Comfey down to its Citrus Berry. So really good stuff here from Mr. Jurgen Hopp. The switching with the Rotom Heat was really clever on Mr. Jurgen Hopp's side. Not taking any damage really from both the Ditto. There's a Draining Kiss again, once more into that Rotom Heat. Nuzzle comes out this time. Paralyzed, will that matter? Overheat manages to get that Ditto down. And Mr. Rhyme Galar does take out that Ditto. So Mr. Rhyme Galar putting in some really good work here, really good work. And there's a Clefairy. I don't know if Dogsy can pull this back. Both Clefairy and Comfrey probably can't do enough damage. I'm loving these nicknames, by the way. Oven Baked Chips does switch out for Cheez-Its. And Helping Hand, Draining Kiss into the Raichu. But Blizzard manages just to get that chip damage away onto the Clefairy and Comfrey. And Mr. Rhyme Galar hasn't had a single paralysis yet. And it is honestly putting in like really good work for Mr. Hop. There's a Protect from the Clefairy, probably just to keep that Clefairy alive so that Friend Guards can be like more beneficial. A Nuzzle from the Raichu and a Blizzard from Mr. Rhyme Galar, just chipping away slowly at Dogsy's Pokemon. And unfortunately, I don't know if Dogsy can do this. There's a Draining Kiss into that Mr. Rhyme Galar, which does do some damage, but unfortunately, Volt Switch has done some really good damage there. Drapion shows its face, and a Paralysis from on the Mr. Rhyme Galar and a Moonblast afterwards from the Clefairy. That Paralysis might be significant. Protect there. Yep, really good play from Mr. Hop there. He read into that Draining Kiss, and Drapion gets rid of that Clefairy once and for all so that he can finish this job. Switching there, probably predicted that Draining Kiss, not allowing any KOs, and Drapion just gets that KO and finishes the job. Really well played from Mr. Jurgen Hop there. Turn 1 was just absolutely amazing. I did not expect that to take it out. And there's the Mr. Rhyme Galar once again. And Dogsy changes things up with Clefairy and Grimmsnarl this time. Interesting choice of Pokemon from Dogsy. That could be a offensive Grimmsnarl. Who knows? I have used offensive Grimmsnarl many times. Mr. Jurgen Hop with this Raichu and Mr. Rhyme Galar lead again. Will he go for that D-Max once more? The switch there from Mr. Hop. A double Protect, interestingly, and the Blizzard not managing to hit any of them because of double Protect. I think Dogsy just wanted to see what Mr. Hop would do in this position. Serena is now on the board, so Queenly Majesty is more than likely up. There's a Reflect from the Grimmsnarl and the Deegleam not doing enough damage. Triple Axle not doing too much damage, but just does do that chip damage. And the Moonblast from the Clef. So this Grimmsnarl is actually a supporting Grimmsnarl. So Dogsy has led with 2 supporting Pokemon, which is good because you do get the screens up, but you're not dealing too much damage into your opponent. So I'm not sure where Dogsy wants to go from this position. A switch there from Mr. Hop, Protect from the Clefairy, Light Scream on Grimmsnarl, and the Play Rough doesn't manage to take out that Grimmsnarl just yet. Mr. Hop has got that Drapion on the board now, which can deal with some pretty good damage. It's there's a swap from Mr. Hop. In comes that Mr. Rhyme Galar once again with the Screen Cleaner. Really clever stuff there from Mr. Hop. Cross Poison not managing to pick up that KO, but Clefairy is very low on HP now. Yeah, so a really clever play from Mr. Hop there. Screen Cleaner just taking away those screens, and yeah, you can see why he's now bought the Mr. Rhyme, because it's proven to be the MVP so far for Mr. Jurgen Hop. Follow me from the Clefairy. Dazzling Gleam just takes out that Clefairy, does some damage onto that Linoon. Cross Poison not managing to pick up the KO, but Figgy Berry and a Figgy Berry and a Belly Drum from the Linoon. Really interesting stuff here from Dogsy. I do love Belly Drum Linoon. I think it's a great play. However, unless Dogsy has like a priority move, I don't think Linoon is actually faster than the Mr. Rhyme Galar. So this is going to be an interesting set of turns that are going to come up. because Linoon is not the fastest Pokemon, but Mr. Galar, in comes the Grimmsnarl once again. Unfortunately, those screens won't be able to go up because of the Mr. Galar. I think Dogsy has to... oh, and there's the extreme speed taking out the Mr. Galar once and for all. However, Drapion just takes out that Grimmsnarl, so no screens will be going up. And Ditto is the last one that manages to transform itself into the Drapion. So we've got two Drapions facing each other now. There's some really interesting stuff. So E-Speed there coming in really good, but it's not going to work with this Queenly Majesty, unfortunately. So Dogsy does need to be wary of that and not make that mistake to go for the extreme speed. In terms of like speed, and also no one's actually Dynamaxed just yet. Both Jurgen, Hop and Dogsy have not Dynamaxed. Dogsy should be going for the D-Max this turn because it is the only time to do it in order to get enough damage. And there it is. Yeah, there's the D-Max from Dogsy. And he does go for the extreme speed, but forgets about the ability from Serena. Oh, Max Ooze just manages to lose out on the KO. 2% HP from that Serena. So unfortunate for Dogsy there, and Mr. Hop is in a great position because he can just go. He can just keep his cool. He's Serena is low on health, but he has got Drapion and he has got that Raichu in the back as well. So, I mean, Raichu doesn't do too much damage into Drapion, so this could be a sticky situation for Mr. Hop, but we will see. Anything can happen in the Pokemon League, as we say, the British Pokemon League, should I say. So the Ditto now. And there's the D-Max from Mr. Hop. He does smartly go for the D-Max this turn. Does get a Max Strike onto his, and they both go for the Max Strike, wanting that speed to be less. They're both thinking the same thing here. Dogsy's Ditto is on 61% HP now, and he has got to take out two Pokemon. There's a Protect from the Raichu, and a Max Guard. Very smartly done from Mr. Hop, because he's just wasting that last turn of Max. And this is where Mr. Hop can just probably finish off the job. There's a Protect from Dogsy, which is very smart as well. Nuzzle from the Raichu, which isn't going to do anything, but the Max Strike does get that minus speed. So this is still fairly... Dogsy can perhaps turn this around. I'm not sure though. I'm pretty sure that a Volt Switch from the Raichu and a hit from that Drapion might be able to finish off Dogsy's Ditto. I have seen stranger things happen, so this is... and there's the Nuzzle from the Raichu, not a... there's a Paralysis and a Slash with the crit. That is a 2-0 to Mr. Hop. And wow, what two games, really good games there from Mr. Hop and Dogsy. Unfortunately, Dogsy just couldn't get past the turn one on game one. Mr. Galar Okoing a Salamence. So Mr. Hop showing that Salamence isn't actually that much of a threat. You know, took it out in one hit. I'm wondering if Mr. Hop actually prepped that, or did he just go for broke and decided to just go for it. Really well played from Weo. He utilised his Mr. Galar so well and managed to use it in game 2 with the screen cleaner ability, so really smart from there. Unfortunately, Dogsy did go for that extreme speed when Serena was on the board, so that might have been significant, who knows. But like I said, we all make mistakes like that. Psychic Terrain, we all forget about Psychic Terrain. We forget about Serena's ability every now and again. So you know, it's one of those things where you live and learn. You just, you know, you make that mistake and you're like, next time I'm not going to be doing this. So yeah, really good stuff. Those were some really, really good games, guys. And if we jump over to the tables, hold up, let's jump over to the tables. Here is the table so far. So the British Pokemon League West Division, Latvian getting that 2-0 win this week, and it has now brought him, he's still in first place with that 4-0. Really taking the lead with this West Division. The California Bastiodons with in second place with a 2-2 score. Really good stuff from the California Bastiodons, managing to pick up that win against Jabba. Bulu Boys coming in third place with a 2-2 score as well. Not much between second and fourth, to be honest with you. A lot of Pokemon still to play as well. Bulu Boys picking up the win this week against 200 Candies, so really significant for Matt there. Slithering Sceptiles just dropping down into the fourth place, but still on a 2-2 score. So yeah, really close between second and fourth. Fifth place is 200 Candies. Unfortunately getting the loss this week against Matt and Bulu Boys with a 1-3 score now. But there's plenty more games to be played, and I'm pretty sure that 200 Candies will pick up some more wins. Silly, unfortunately losing against Latvian, the Season 1 champs, and he's now on a 1-3 score. But like I said, there's plenty of more games, so Silly should, you know, don't get your, don't drop. Just keep on powering through, and I'm pretty sure you'll pick up some more wins. The British Pokemon League East Division, we've got the top spot Inglorious Surfers with a 4-0 as well. So taking the lead with the East Division. Two teams there that are taking the lead with the divisions. Inglorious Surfers managing to pick up a win against the South Croydon Source. Second place, we've got Toed Star Belgrade now. They are in second place because they've beat the ShadowKings, Dogsy's ShadowKings, and it's seen them in the second place. It is tied, it looks like. I think there might be a difference on like KD ratio. So Weo is just edging that second place ahead of South Croydon Source, who are in third place. Crizzle did lose to Inglorious Surfers, but knowing Crizzle, he will more than likely pick up those wins for the following weeks. We've got Celtic Celebes, Draco in fourth place. Draco picking up another win against the Newcastle Thunderous, which has edged him into that spot. So Draco's done really well. He's in the fourth place, and I'm pretty sure he's going to keep going as well. Fifth place, we've got the Newcastle Thunderous. Unfortunately, Dave was not feeling great at all, so he managed to. I don't know, you know, when you're feeling really crappy, you don't really want to play, and you know, it's just maybe it contributes to. So there's some factors to take into account. So Dave has managed to get himself into the fifth place with a 1-3 score, but like I said, plenty more Pokemon to be played. And last but not least, Dogsy in sixth place with a 1-3 score as well, losing out to Mr. Jurgen Hopp this week. So some good stuff here, some really good stuff. That's the table for this week, guys. And hold on, let's get me back. Okay, there we are. And yeah, those are the tables so far, guys. It has been quite a night, and I've actually thoroughly enjoyed doing this format. And if he ever wants me to do it again, I'd be privileged and honoured to do it again. And I've drank so much water, it's unreal. My mouth is still getting dry as I'm speaking. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the content, and I will see you guys next week. Take care, stay safe, and for Christ's sakes, keep winning those games. Okay, guys? See you soon. Mwah!